The state of Texas says there have been 4 confirmed cases of an inflammatory syndrome in children that may be linked to COVID-19. 2 of those cases are here in the Houston area. Stephanie Whitfield explains how this rare disease has been impacting kids across the country.
Most kids who get COVID-19 only have mild symptoms, but in rare cases, the virus has been linked to a life-threatening illness called multisystem inflammatory syndrome in children, or MISC. 2 recent studies are painting a clearer picture of how it's related to the coronavirus. One study looks at 99 cases in New York. The other was funded by the CDC and includes 186 children in 26 states. All either tested positive for COVID-19 or its antibodies, or were in contact with someone with the virus. The Texas Department of State Health Services confirms there have been 4 cases in Texas, 2 in the Houston area and 2 near Dallas. Both studies found similar results. The majority of kids diagnosed with MISC were previously healthy. Most were boys. 80% were admitted to intensive care. And researchers found MISC symptoms show several weeks after someone's exposed to COVID-19. Boston Children's Hospital led the study funded by the CDC. The 186 cases they looked at were in kids older than 5. 4 died. They were between 10 and 16 years old. 2 had underlying conditions. The study's conclusion, although very rare, MISC can lead to serious and life-threatening illness in kids who were previously healthy. Stephanie Whitfield, KHOU 11 News.